Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we are back in the TFDI MD-11. We're here at Milwaukee. This is the freeware scenery by Inbuilds, and we're going to be flying to Fly Tampa Boston. We are FedEx 3562. We're cruising at 35,000 feet, flight time today of 1 hour and 40 minutes. Not much else to say, we're not that heavy. We're going to be departing off 07 right, which I believe is the runway behind us, and arriving on 04 right when we get into Boston. So we're sitting here cold and dark. Let's get this bad boy set up. So, a lot of stuff to do first. So we get the battery on, and the external
autopilot.
And then we'll get some lighting on as well. And that is us all lit up. Right, okay, so alarm those. Get the seatbelt signs on. Alarm those as well. We'll get the nav lights and the logo lights on. Go outside and have a look at them. We're all lit up now. So, jump into the FMC. We'll go FMC1, flight plan. We want to send flight plan, set the payload, and that's all in there nicely. We'll align the standby here. There you go. It's all sorted now, and then we'll align the IRSs. We are FedEx FDX 3562. Our alternate is KJFK. Our cruising altitude is 35,000 feet. The temperature at cruise will be 13 degrees slash 50 knots. Tailwind of 50 knots, and our cost index today will be 100. So that's all plugged in there. We've got a flight plan. We're departing off of 07 right on this one here, the Uerka 6, and that's via sample. We'll insert that. And that looks all good to me. And then KBOS, we are on the ILS-04 right on the J-Fund 2 via Pont, and we'll insert that as well. Is it the Goshi transition? Let me just check the chart. No, there's not. Okay, so that's everything in there. We'll insert that. We'll go for flight plan. We'll pop into plan mode. And we'll decrease. We'll go through it. And then onto the arrival there. That's lovely. No problem. So we'll go back onto map mode. And I'll book the cruising altitude of 350. That's no problem. And we'll go A there. Clear the master caution. And we'll go into our performance page. No, it's the init ref. Next page. We've got block fuel, takeoff weights, and everything's plugged in there. Lovely. So we're going to take off, and we'll go into our performance page. We'll get the weather information. So it's 3005. want packs on. We won't go specific flaps. He's going to go flap 25, so we'll pop 25 in here, in the dialer flap. Lovely, okay. So we're going to go 0.3, so the wind's at 0.38 knots. Outside air temperature here is 18 degrees. Flex temperature today are 59. And we're going flap 25. 162, 150, 138. 160, 150, 138. That looks fine to me. I know there's one digit on the V1, but that's okay. There we go. We'll go FMC. And we'll go on to flight plan, and on this one we'll keep it takeoff, and we'll get the APU started now. We'll wait for the IRSs to align. There's not much more we need to do really, I don't think. I think that's all set up. Set the parking brakes first though. There you go, parking brakes are set. Jump into the overhead again and just make sure we'll get the temperature sort of there. Pop the standby compass down. Nothing else needs to be done, I don't think. So like I said, this scenery is by Inbuilds. It's freeware if you get it off their website. It's brilliant. It's a normal Inbuilds scenery. With all the cool additions and really good textures, and it's completely free. We're here at the cargo terminal, so there's not much to look at around, but there is a fully modelled interior, gates, and it's GSX compatible as well. It does look really nice though when we got closer, but I think this is the one I'm taking up here. So the taxi's not going to be too bad. So we've got the APU bleed on. We'll go off external power. We'll keep it like that. And I think all we need to do is go services, disconnect the GPU, lovely. We're on APU power. IRSs are still aligning. Got the APU bleed on. And we'll get 162 plugged in here. No problem. And then I'll do all the arming of the spoilers and the water brake when we push back, because it likes to do a checklist. Let's get the trim in then. So it wants us a trim of 5.5. We're looking over here for the trim. 5.5, lovely. That's all set. I think we are ready to go in a second when the IRSs are aligned. When you get used to flying the MD-11, it's not too bad. You do get used to a lot of the systems. I know it's quite hard when we're airborne, it's quite a handful with different systems and the autopilot's a bit rudimentary, but it is really fun. I love flying it. It's a tri-jet heavy. And I'm getting better at the landings. I wouldn't say I'm perfect at them yet. It's still quite hard, but I'm pulling through the deadband a lot more and flaring a lot higher. So the landings are okay now. Right. It's a shame it doesn't tell you when the IRS is going to align, unless there is. We'll wait to see it. Can't see any place it would be though. Aligned in a minute anyway. because there's no like heading STS thing up here. That one. Should we go and have a quick cabin tour while the IRS is aligned? Didn't show this last time, but this is the back of the flight deck. It's all modelled really well, and then we open the door. There's a fully modelled cargo cabin. As you can see there, there's like a PBE, fire crew with oxygen, torches. Is that an ELT? Yeah, an ELT. And then as we come over here, we've got one of the big comfy chairs, door, galley area, toilet. And then if we go into here, we've got the cargo area and the door. And the cargo doesn't change, it's always like this. It goes all the way back to the lot cargo. As you can see, the interior is modelled nicely as well with all the lights. And I think this is the pressurisation tube, isn't it? Or is this the one where it sucks all the air out when there's a fire? I don't know. And the IRSs are aligned now. So what we'll do is we'll close all of these and we'll set something like that. So there's 7 somewhere. So what we'll do is we'll maintain runway heading until about 1,000 feet, and then we'll go direct to the first waypoint. Everything's plugged in, APU's on with the bleed. So what we'll do now is we'll ask the pushback to get us ready. So pre-plan the pushback. And that'll do. Oh, actually, no, because we can't push back that way because there's the GA's down. So we'll go something like that, and then something like that. Press
Cockpit to
pushback.
ground. This is ground. Stand by.
Beacon light, come on now. We are ready for push and start.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brakes
So-
and lifting the aircraft.
Wait for push and start. The livery you see in front of you is off the FlightSim.to website. It is by
We are cleared for
Aviation,
start
I
and push.
believe. It's really nice.
Okay, cleared for push start.
It's
Please
the modern
release parking
FedEx
brake.
livery, which is nice. Right, so release the parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Jump back in the flight deck.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
And we'll start
Yeah,
engine
we'll start in
sequence,
sequence.
which is 1, 2 and 3 in that order. So we'll go engine 1, start that. When this gets that blue line, we'll throw the fuel in. And there you go. Engine's starting nicely now. And engine number 2. And that looks like a good engine start on the engine that's in the tail, which is number 2. And that's a good engine start, and we'll go engine number 3. Throw the fuel in. You see that nice sunset in front, sunrise, sorry, in front of us. It's early morning. I set the time to about 5 o'clock. As you can see there, it's 10:36 UTC. So we're 5 hours, is 36 minutes past 5 in the morning.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake can be set.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
And we have 3 good engine starts.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Cleared to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
All the engines have started nicely, so turn the APU off. We'll get the taxi lights up on the speed brake. Flaps can go to 25. We get the auto brake to RTO. And there we go, put flaps down, 25, so brake is set. So when we release the brake, the config should go normal. And we'll go flight control check. So we'll go all right, neutral, all left, neutral, all forward, neutral, all back, neutral. Now for the rudders, left and forward. We are free and correct. We'll get the transponder to TARA, turn the commenter on, get that on as well. So we are ready to go. We'll release the parking brake. They are cleared. Next release we have green, so we're completely ready to go. A couple of notches of thrust. Start rolling. Line up courses as well. We're heading, sorry. Takes a hell of a lot of thrust to get this aircraft going, so what we'll do now is we'll go auto flight. Takeoff clamp has been armed, so the band around it goes away, and that shows that the autopilot is ready. Now the auto clamp, which is the auto throttle, will take over when we get above 70% thrust. We won't go any nav modes yet. What we'll do is we'll just maintain runway heading to 1,000 feet, and I'll set the vertical speed and the nav to follow the heading. Then we'll vector ourselves around towards the first waypoint, and then we'll go direct. Then we'll follow the profile, and the speed constraints after that. We'll bug up, of course. We'll fly a bit like a 737. That's the best way I can describe it. That what I find the best suitable way of flying it is, especially well, not today because we're not that heavy, but when I've done some flights from like Anchorage to Guangzhou and Anchorage to Hong Kong. On takeoff it's been bugging 250 knots, the flaps don't come up because the retraction speed's higher. So what I'll do then is I just bug a higher speed, vertical speed, 1,000 feet per minute, and just clear the terrain and stuff, and fly it a bit like an NG, which it flies fine. And then once we're above 10,000 feet we get profile, FMS speed, and now. And the aircraft just follows it. So what we'll do now is we'll get the high intensity lights on, runway turn-offs on. Taxi lights go to takeoff and the rest of the lights will come on. We're approaching 07 right, which is confirmed. So, let's get ready to line up. Like I said, it does take a lot of power to get this thing moving. Let's do a rolling takeoff, shall we? So, been cleared to take off, spool them up, and take off clamp, thrust set, all throttle's taken over now, speed's alive. .162 we're looking for. And up we go. That's positive rate, gear up. Straight into flight directors, where we'll bug around 20 degrees just below. We'll hold that, and then goodbye to Milwaukee. With the lovely lights and scenery in the background. Really nice bit of scenery this is, and a different airport to fly out of as well. And as we can see the sort of beachfront, or it's a lakefront, sorry, over the Great Lakes. So what we'll do now, 1,000 feet, we'll bug up to 220 knots, and we'll go vertical speed. 2,000 feet per minute, and we'll arm the heading as well. Still hand flying, of course, and we'll pull the heading around to about 140. There you go.
Stabilizer motion.
Yeah, stabilizer motion, that's fine. Roll it out. Order flight. 1,500 feet per minute now. And we'll go slats. Flaps 0, slats still out. I'll book 250. Pull that speed. Thrust is going to come up now. We're still climbing out. And what I'll do is we'll go direct intersect to there, and we'll go nav mode and profile FMS speed, and let the aircraft use its VNAV and stuff. Get the weather radar on as well. And we'll trap flaps and the slats. Climb up now, holding 10 degrees. Lovely. We'll go standard pressure now. And the tail's going to come off. Get all the taxi lights off now. Approaching 10,000 anyway. There you go. So, like I said, a bit of a tricky departure. A lot of stuff you've got to deal with, especially single pilot. But it's all fine in the end. The aeroplane does handle it well. And TFDI brilliantly with this aircraft. It flies like a dream. It is really nice to fly. There you go, 10,000, so the nose is going to dip. I'm going to accelerate to our climb speed.
Stabilizer motion.
And I was watching Father Time the other day, so it was a real MD-11 pod, and he said the reason for the stabilised motion sound that you hear, that buzz, is because unlike other aircraft where you can actually see a physical wheel spinning, they did that so you didn't accidentally hold it for too long. And you knew that you were using the trim, which I find quite cool. I like the call outs of this plane as well. I think it's just different. It's nice. As we climb out, lovely wing view. And the couple of passengers we've got back there can get out and have a stretch. Logo light will come off now. And away we go. So guys, I'm going to leave you now with some climb cruise highlights. And I'll see you in roughly an hour and 20 minutes when we're a lot closer to Boston descending. We'll have an updated weather in Boston as well. And we'll see if we're still landing on the same runway. I know the weather down there is a bit funny sometimes, especially with there's a tropical storm down in the sort of tropics of America. I don't know, usually if there's a storm down there, the weather sort of New York and Boston's not that nice as well, so we'll see. Anyway guys, I'll see you in about an hour. Descent now into Boston. The weather's not the nicest, thick cloud all above Boston. The weather's not too bad though. The winds are at the moment 5 knot headwind, 8 knot, but it is gusting slightly up to 14 on my METAR, so it should be an interesting arrival. Done the landing calculations already, I just deleted it, but we're going to go flat 35 with water brake medium, and that should be fine. Runway 04 right's quite long, or long enough, sorry, so it should be alright. We've stepped it down, it starts to rain now to 3,000, which is where we need to be at. The waypoint Navo 3000, and that should be okay. Actually, it's getting a bit bumpy now, and we'll get some speed brake out. I think it's just to slow down. And the 21 degrees outside air temperatures, there's no need for anti-ice or anything like that. Right, so we'll go full speed brake. Try and slow it down as much as possible. And we'll get the lights on now. Local as well. Seatbelt sign should have been on earlier, but I'll take one now. That's all on to 60 knots. About to go through 10,000. There you go. Actually, what I'll do is I'll go 240 is what I want to fly at. There you go. Speed brake stowed now. Holding that speed quite nicely. As you can see, our arrival, so we're going to fly overhead Boston Airport and then vector ourselves back onto Navo via Joby. Do that ourselves. I was going to join them up, but I don't want to mess with the VNav. It is quite jumpy with the VNav as well, as you can see, sort of like pitching left, right, but not left, right, sorry, up and down. So what we'll do is go vertical speed, 1,000 feet per minute. That should be nice enough. Shallow descent rate. So as you can see, the cloud base is quite low. We're going through 9,000 now, we're still above it. Just been in some cloud base. And there is no weather radar on this aircraft, it's not been implemented yet. It does say CBs around the area. So as you can see some land down there. We've also set the dial flap to 15, so we're going to go slats first and then to flap 15 and then 28, 35, keep it at 35, we're not going to go down to 50 or the great medium max for us, and that should be nice enough for us. We are going over shortly Boston Airport, but we won't be able to see it. There's the marker. These clouds are quite thick, aren't they? Is it going to give us a marker? No, it's not. So I'm just trying to see if it gives us sort of a descent marker where we've reached 3,000 meters, 1,000 seems. Over the airport at around 6, well actually we're a bit low, so 500 feet per minute. Slow that descent rate right now. No speed restrictions at all, JB, 227, we'll be flat 15 on the turn anyway, but I want to be flat 15. by Nabo. So keep that like that. We'll go back onto the takeoff performance page, or takeoff and right performance page. And we won't be able to see it, but we are direct over Boston Airport now. If it was clicked, you'd be able to see a lovely view of the airport, but sadly not today. Through 7,000 now. Keep that descent rate shallow. Can't see anything. It's the outside air temperature, 19 degrees, so we don't need anti-ice or anything. Everything's looking okay, just monitoring. So, turn up some lights actually. Let me get an actual updated Boston weather. So it's 070 knots, gusting 40, scattered at 1100, broken at 2200, overcast at 7500, 16 degrees, 300 degree remarks, rain and wind shear nice. So, not the nicest weather. Will be alright though. 15, gusty 15 with a bit of wind shear. Just have to watch out for that wind shear. So, turning, following our base leg down. We'll give it a bit of time after Joby, and then we'll turn to Nabo. Establish ourselves on the ILS. It's not that bumpy anymore, there's hardly any wind really. You'd think going through these clouds it would be quite bumpy. There's the rain. Outside air temperature's fine, so it should be alright. And then we'll go 220 on the speed. And we'll go slats. Flats. All the lights are on, and we get the nose light to land so I don't forget it. Thousand feet per minute now, and we'll go 190 on the speed. There's not a lot to see out the window, is there? Going through that nicely now, so we'll go direct. We'll go direct Nabo, and we'll insert that just to give us a update on the VNav. And we're going to go flat 15. And our final approach speed is 162, and that's with +5 for the wind. We are actually going to go direct Navo again. Direct nav engaged. And that's updated, so it will take us onto the arrival itself. And we'll go 180 now. There you go, there's Boston down there. The outskirts of Boston. Nice photograph between the trees. Descend a bit more now actually. 1,000 feet per minute. Get back onto that glide. And approach arm localizer. Glide slope captured. Lovely. Go around to 4,000. Minimums are set at 140. We're on glide. Fully established now. We'll keep it 180 until 6 DME and then we'll get configured. What's that? Yeah, nicely descending on the glide now.
2,500.
2,500 continue. That's the runway there, so we decrease that even more. Still, you can't see quite a lot out there, can you? There's the ground. Right, I said 6 miles, but I want to get configured a bit early, so we'll go gear down. Flat 28. And we'll go 162 straight to the flat.
Stabilizer
35.
motion.
Just make sure I pulled that then. Right, fully configured, flat 35. Speed brake is armed green light. Flaps are 35%. Horse brake is set to medium. We've got a green box. Config is checked. We are fully established. Not very nice weather though. All the lights are on. Let's have a quick look outside. 5 miles left. Look at that. There's the leading lights there. Always
Stabilizer
come
motion.
into view. Stabilise motion, that's fine. The wipers don't work, do they? That's no point. Let the autopilot deal with it for a minute. There's that wind coming in, some gusts. It's actually been quite calm so far. Come over. This sim is by Fly Tampa, so that's why it looks so nice. There's Boston. Right, I'm going to disconnect to do a bit of hand flying.
Autopilot.
Autopilot's off my aeroplane. Right, so just got to remember, flare it high and we'll be okay. When that seems to have calmed itself out now, we fly over the port. It's a bit of a long taxi back into the ramp as well. The cargo terminal's over here. Taxi to the port, the airport. Yeah, it seems to have smoothed itself out now, the weather.
500.
500. Checked. Keep descending.
400. 300.
Looking primarily out the
minimum.
window now.
200. Minimum.
That's continue.
100.
Glide
50.
slope.
40,
Glide
30,
slow.
20,
Glide
10.
slow.
Bang downhill. Good MD-11 landing actually. Quite proud of that one. Speed brakes are up. Reverse is green. Manual braking. We'll take this exit. No, got that. Lovely. Speed brakes can come back in. And we're off here. All the brakes, oh sorry. All the brakes can reset. Back in. And the flaps all the way in now. Welcome down to Boston. It's a nice little landing that was. Interesting approach to the weather, always makes it more difficult, doesn't it? But we're down. Taxi off here. Follow this runway. Then make a left at the end. So they'll be using this runway for takeoff, so we'll look left. Nothing's coming. Turn the radar off now. And we'll get the APU one when we've lined it up. So APU to start. And that light can go back to taxi. Get the landing lights off. Keep the other lights on because we're going to cross another active runway in a second. And I'm really pleased with that. I love flying the MD-11 now. Now when you get used to the automation, how the aircraft flies, and the sort of limits, it's really enjoyable to fly. It hand flies really nice. I mean, it was quite a tiny bit bumpy, but it wasn't hard to fly at all. It handled itself quite nicely actually. And the performance today as well, landing into Boston, really nice for a big airport. I think this is the first time we've been to Boston on the channel, in Micro Flight Simulator. I've had this scenery for a while. It's the Fly Tampa one. I bought it ages ago on sale. I don't think it was that much. It's really good as well. Fly Tampa stuff is always good. They don't just do the airport, they do the town, the city, the port, and bits around the airport. So it is really nice bit of scenery. As we taxi round, outside. It is a real handful to fly, but it's so enjoyable when you get used to it. I would really recommend this aircraft now if you want to update your hangar, get something new to fly, new to learn, because it's a lot different to the Airbus and Boeing. It uses a lot of the stuff you'd have in Airbus and Boeing. So the autopilot's a bit like Airbus, with the one button and the push-pull mechanic, but the rest of it, setting up for the MCDU and the some takeoffs and landings, it's sort of similar to Boeing and Airbus. It's really fun, especially on the landing as well. It flies like nothing I've ever flown before. The angle of attack when you come into land at 10 degrees before you've started to flare and everything's really fun. As you can see, they've done the port and we flew over some boats nicely. That's the photo guarantee that hasn't loaded yet, but don't worry, that's nothing to do with Fly Tampa. I don't have the taxi charts for Boston. I want to see it's the last right and then into the cargo terminal, no problem. With a flight time of 1 hour and 47 minutes, that's not bad. I'll take one of the heavy gates as well, and as you can see in the distance with all that haze, there's the city of Boston that's loaded in quite nicely. There's the terminals. I think this is American Airlines that park here. Really, really nice. So this is the heavy gate here, so we'll take this one. Stand 12, that'll do. Thrust. Just want to make sure I've lined it up correctly. There's no marshal here, so we'll go outside. Engines are off, APU's on, we'll get the APU bleed on as well. And down we are. Get the high intensity lights off, runway turn offs off as well. And the beacon light seatbelt signs are off. And we are fully down into Boston. That was interesting. Get the ground services connected to the cargo door and all that. Chunks, GPU and the nose lights. Should have gone to the stand next door, but it's okay. Parked alright. So, hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Really been enjoying flying the MD-11 recently. Probably see a lot more on the channel because I'm getting used to flying it, and I enjoy it every time I step into it. I mean, the 777, we're going to fly that probably next. I've been enjoying flying the 777 as well, but just because it's so new and different, it's been a challenge. I've really enjoyed it. So for now, guys, I'll leave you. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.